Hey everyone, Frank Big States here with episode number 2. And in this episode, I am going to do the disassembly of the bike. So I'll get right into it because we got a lot of stuff to cover.
Home for the coastline, someplace under the sun.
So it was just spinning for so long, and I realized I need to have another wrench on the other side of it. So let's run it back.
And there's a place that I've dreamed of, where I can free my mind. I hear the sounds of...
So I really am just learning as I go. I'm just looking at spots where I think it looks like it connects, and then I'm just going for it. But right now it looks like there's really only 5 bolts, 4 at the exhaust ports on either side, so 8 total, and then the one that I just unscrewed right here. I thought it was gonna fall off, but it didn't, because there's actually a bar right back here. I don't know if you can see it. So this one that I'm highlighting right here, and that connects and goes through to the other side. So I mean, honestly, it's only 5 more other bolts now that I've learned, and the whole thing should just plop right onto the floor as soon as I'm done. This is the exhaust. This is how it turned out. As it dropped to the ground, I was wondering how I was going to get this beyond the stand, because the stand is between here. But luckily, I guess unluckily, but this broke off, which made removing it a lot easier. But unfortunately now I can't really sell it for parts or anything. So I'll probably just give this away on Facebook Marketplace for anybody who wants OEM parts. Now to get rid of the rat's nest.
And lose all sense of time. I'm moving far away to a sunny place where it's just you and me. Feels like we're in a dream.
Alright, so this is the 12-volt battery holder. This 12-volt battery holder had 3 little bolts that I found. There was one here. There was one connected here that goes to the frame right in that spot right there. And then there was another one right here. Sorry about the bad lighting. So the last one was right there. That one was connected to the brake line, which goes to the rear disc. And after disconnecting those, and then disconnecting that connector, and this connector, I am able to take this whole entire thing off. So I'll demonstrate that here on my video. You can just pull it out. I already did most of the pulling out to make it easier. So it's just a little tangled. So you guys missed a little bit. So turns out that my SD card was full and I had a hard time recording video. So I'll give you a brief look at what I did off screen. So I took some of the panels off of the trunk off camera. I put the suspension over here, that was here, in the boxes over there. I got the fender all the way off, and then I labeled some wiring, and I set that off to the side. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to focus on the rest of the trunk, take off the front fork, and then try and get the engine out by myself.
The summer air by the seaside. This life will keep us young, yeah, keep us young. And we will sleep by the ocean. Our heart move with the tide. And we will wake in the morning to see the sun paint the sky. I'm moving far away to a sunny place where it's just you and me. Feels like we're in a dream. You know what I mean. I'm moving far away to a sunny place where it's just you and me. Feels like we're in a dream. You know what I mean.
So I got a little bit lost last night and didn't really know how to take the engine out after I took apart all the bolts that I thought I found. So after messing around for a little bit, I actually was on the right track the whole time. So to actually take the engine out, there's a bunch of bolts that are attached to the frame, obviously. And then there actually is 4 bolts that you have to take off in order to get this part of the frame off. So there's 2 right here, and then there's 2 right here. And after you take all 4 of those off, you should be able to take this bar off. And it's also locked right here. There's another bolt right here, actually, which I already took off. And then this comes off. And then after you take off this bolt, which I already took off and threaded on the reverse side. And then there's another bolt down here. It's hard to see, but I'll show you on the other side. Then you take it off. And then those 3 bolts here, here, and here are on the other side. So the bolt that I was talking about is right here. There's a hole right here, and then there's a nut on the other side holding it back in. So after doing some research, I found out that I actually can't take the engine out without taking apart the wheel and the rear fork. So I did some research on how to do that. But first, I finally got the snap ring out from in there on the shaft. I bought a tool online on Amazon to take the snap ring out. Snap ring is right there on the ground. This guy, the devil. But I still can't get it out. But that's because the spline in there can't come apart unless I take the fork off. In order to take the fork off, the rear fork, I need to take off the rear wheel. And the problem with the rear wheel is that this guy is not getting, it's not hammering through easily. I'm going to just rotate the wheel and then count from the shaft spinning inside there rather than taking the engine out to do it. And then do my calculation. And then afterwards, get this tire off, wheel off, however I can. Take the swing arm off and then just drop the engine out. So I took some time away after my previous clip and did some research as to which tools I should use to get it out. I was just using this hammer to tap it on out the rear axle with the castle nut threaded reverse on it so that I didn't damage the threads. And this wasn't doing enough, so I did some browsing of the Harbor Freight hauls, and I just came across this big boy hammer, a 3-pound engineering hammer, that I used to get it out instead. I was so eager after I made this purchase to see if it would actually work that I came home and just drove it right out right away. So it's not on video, but I can show you guys what I did in a second. So use this. Originally wouldn't work. I was tapping the rear axle with this. I ended up using this bolt that was used to mount the engine and transmission onto the body to drive it the rest of the way through. So boys, long story short, lesson learned. The size of your hammer matters.
Alright, anyway, the shaft was right here. As you can see, there's no more shaft. The castle nut's right there on the ground. The axle is on the ground right there, too. And our wheel has come right off. Nice. 1, 2, 2, yeah. It was quite a journey to get this out, especially on my own, but I gently laid it on its side, tilted the frame over, and I was able to wiggle it out. Now all I have left is the gas tank. Maybe remove the kickstand and remove the brake pedal, and I should be okay.
And we're finally done.
So I will give you guys a little bit of a tour on how I sorted out my garage now that I have everything taken apart. Obviously, it doesn't look sorted. It's very messy, but I'll try to do the best I can. Anyway, the two biggest components, the whole entire motorcycle frame and the engine right behind it, those are probably just going to stay put right there since they take up so much space. I have a lot of front end, some random big parts over here. So I have the rear fork, I have the front two forks, I have a bunch of the body panels, and a bunch of other hardware down there. Over here I have the wheels, I have the gas tank, which I guarantee I don't need, so I'll probably sell that come here soon. A lot of the electrical components inside the box right there, and then I organized all of my fasteners and small hardware into little bags so that I know how it all goes back together. I'm gonna probably reuse a lot of this stuff. I'll probably chemical treat it and get it all looking nice and new again. And then I got a lot of the pegs and stuff over here, so the footrests, the brake, all the hardware that goes to those.
In this episode, I was planning on taking apart the bike, and as you can see, I have taken apart the bike, so I'm going to call it on this one, and I hope I see you guys in the next one. Be sure to like and subscribe if you guys thought any of this was informational or intriguing in any degree. Thanks guys for watching.